member for Richmond.
Thank you, Speaker. And earlier today, thousands marched here in Canberra outside Parliament House at the March for Justice rally. And I was honoured and proud to attend the rally and to march with them and my Labor colleagues. And at the march here in Canberra, we saw Brittany Higgins speaking so bravely. And she rightly said the system is broken and that enough is enough. Speaker, across the country, thousands of women and men marched to make their voices heard. And in my electorate in northern New South Wales, locals were also marching for justice in Mullumbimby and Lismore, and I commend them. And they also marched because enough is enough. These countrywide rallies were an expression of the frustration and anger about continued inequality. Women must be safe and free from violence and discrimination at all times, and it is time to focus on achieving equality and justice for all in our society. Speaker, people are rightly angry at this government. We have the Morrison government constantly acting only in their own political interests, whether it's their inaction and gross negligence in not providing support and justice for Brittany Higgins, or their failure to stand down the Attorney-General and instigate a judicial inquiry into historical rape allegations against him, or their failure to act over the Defence Minister for her highly offensive comments and gross negligence in relation to Brittany Higgins. Today, Speaker, thousands marched around the country, and as I said, including in my region on the New South Wales North Coast, all to be heard. They will not be silent any longer. And today we were marching for all women, because the fact is we are always, all of us, stronger together. And I know it's frustrating to so many that change can often take so long. But we are now having a national conversation about women's rights and women's safety and women's access to justice. These are important conversations and we must keep speaking out so there are changes to improve women's lives. And I know sometimes they're hard conversations and I know sometimes they're distressing, but they're important conversations. Deputy Speaker, as Senator Penny Wong, our leader in the Senate, has said, I've described this time of searing national reckoning, a reckoning demanded by the courage of so many, of Grace Tame and Brittany Higgins and many more. To find our way through this requires listening and it requires action. Leaders have to listen, even to messages some don't wish to hear. We have to support those who have the courage to come forward, and we have to change the culture in our parliament and across the nation. You see, change needs more than talk. And also, as the Leader of the Opposition has said, and he said today, all of us need to make sure we listen more. We hear the concerns that people are raising, those concerns put forward today. We need to listen and respond. We all march today for every woman throughout the nation because every single woman in this country has the right to be safe and be treated with respect. And together we must all fight for justice until there is justice for all. Today we also saw yet again a lack of empathy and lack of concern and lack of respect from our Prime Minister, who could not even be bothered to attend the rally. He didn't even have the courage to attend. So I implore the Prime Minister and his government to listen to those who march, to listen to those calling for action. But this is a government that's only concerned with their own agenda, their own political interests, never ever the nation's interests. Speaker, I recently raised here in Parliament and condemned the Prime Minister for his disgraceful behaviour regarding the treatment of Brittany Higgins. And I'll say again, and I'll repeat those words. As a former police officer, I'd like to remind the Prime Minister and his government that rape is not a political problem to be covered up. Rape is a crime. I simply cannot fathom that no one, not one person in that ministerial wing, fulfilled their legally binding duty of care to Ms Higgins. Instead of giving her compassion and support to get justice, they just cut her adrift. She's been totally denied justice. It must stop. Their cover-ups, their denials must stop. The Prime Minister again chooses politics in acting in his own interest, denying all knowledge, saying no one told me. Of course he knew, but he walks in here every day and insults an entire nation when he comes in here and pretends that he didn't. The cover-up just continues. The Prime Minister's failed to provide empathy, support and respect for Ms Higgins. Speaker, we have the Morrison government, as I said, constantly only acting in their political interests. There's no leadership and no support from this government. And this is one of the many reasons that women and men and so many people have had enough. So I'd like to thank everyone who marched today and acknowledge them for their courage and raising their voices loud and clear. Enough is enough. We won't be silent anymore.